Welcome to the Year 10 Information Night PowerPoint for 2024. This year we have 3 Year 10 home classes, 10 Gold with myself, Angela Fullerton, 10 Blue with Troy Clohessy, and 10 White with Matthew Freeman. Below you can see our email addresses, so feel free to contact us if you have any questions about your child's schooling. We'll start off with the role of the home class teacher. We're the first point of call for you because we see your child every morning and every afternoon, and most of the time we teach them in a subject as well. So we're the key teacher for pastoral care, so looking after your child's health and well-being. We're there to answer any questions, making sure that students are aware of their responsibilities in the classroom and in the school, taking care of things like uniform, punctuality, and we organise assemblies throughout the year as well. We also have a social and emotional learning program that through our pastoral care. Any notifications for absentees are things that we should know about, and any problems you have with anything, or if you just want to ask anything, just feel free to give us a call or email. On this slide we have a few key dates. These are the term dates, so there are a few student-free days in amongst them where staff will have professional development. So there are a couple throughout the year. These are the lesson times, and as you can see, the home group is only for 10 minutes, and then that time we need to start off with prayer, give out any notices, just lay our eyes on students and see how that they are. So it's really important that students are in class and sitting down, all packed up, ready to go by 8:45 and not just arriving at 8:45. So we would appreciate your cooperation with that in trying to get them to school on time. And home group at the end of the day finishes at 3. Just going through the uniform, so if hair is longer than collar length, it must be tidily pulled back. That's for OC health and safety reasons, and just to keep the hair out of the way in terms of, for specialist subject areas. Extreme hairstyles aren't permitted to be worn at school, and hair colours must be in line with the range of natural colours. Students are to be clean shaven, and makeup, including nail polish, isn't to be worn. The only jewellery we permit is a watch and a plain stud or sleeper per ear, so that's 1 per ear. Earrings may be required to be removed for sport for safety reasons, and no other piercings are permitted. Students are also required to wear a school hat for all outside activities, so even if your student doesn't participate in outdoor ed or physical education, they still need a school hat. The approved college shoe is a black school shoe. Canvas shoes aren't permitted. Here are some examples of what we deem as school shoes and what are sports shoes and what shoes are to be worn at home and not at school. In terms of uniform infringements, these go during the term, so if a student has extra earrings or things like that, they will be confiscated and put into an envelope and taken to the front office for you to collect. Any other things like being in PE uniform and not in the wearing the correct shoes or anything like that, students will be told that's their first infringement. If it happens a second time in a term, then we'll contact you either via email or by phone, and just letting you know that the third time in a term will mean that the student will be excluded from class and need to spend the day in the office. The next slide will take you through how you can navigate the app for ordering food through the canteen. During pastoral care, students will be allocated classroom jobs, things like emptying bins, vacuuming classrooms. They'd be rostered on for prayer. The aim is to give students a greater autonomy and a student agency, and have them participate in the daily activities of the class. The pastoral care program, this for the first term, is focused on looking at personality types and marrying those up to the potential careers. So we're looking at preparing students for the camp, which is focused on careers in early and second term. Personalised social and emotional learning program looks at friendships, what goes on for a Year 10 student, how to navigate relationships and any issues that happen at this period of time. So sector learning program is used every day by students and staff, and it's a really useful resource for parents. Students access their timetable, any course information any day, which is helpful, especially if they're away for any period of time, what their assessments are, reports are communicated through via sector, any notices, and lots of information in terms of what's due and when, and what homework tasks are available there. So as parents, you can access the timetable, any assessments, any reports, any daily notices, and you can keep in touch with any feedback that students receive in terms of their learning.
Okay, so welcome to our Sector Learn landing page. This is what these students will see. If you have already had a look at Sector Engage, you'll note that it looks very, very similar with fewer options down the side, but when you click in, you'll be able to see all of your children who are at Caritas, if you have more than one,
In terms of laptops and textbooks, they're on loan for the year. It's really important to have a look at the IT agreement and familiarise yourself with that in terms of what students' responsibilities are in caring for those resources. We'd really appreciate your help in reminding students to charge their laptops at night, so that when they turn up to school at the start of every day, they're fully charged and don't need to be charged much at all during the day. That just helps us out a lot. The school's phone policy is that phones, if they're at school, they should be turned off and in their locker. So if a teacher sees or hears a phone, they have been asked to confiscate it. For senior students, there may be times where phones can be used for educational purposes, and teachers will explain how, why, and when in those circumstances. Phones shouldn't ever be used during break times. We'd also appreciate your cooperation in trying not to contact your students through the day on their phone. If anything needs to be communicated, it should be going through the front office. Year 10 is where we begin SACE subjects, and all Year 10s will begin their SACE by undertaking EIF, which is Exploring Identities and Futures. This is a 10 credit stage 1 subject, so students will study this in semester 1. Students must receive a C or better to achieve their SACE. Other SACE subjects that Year 10s will study are Stage 1 Religion and Health and Wellbeing, and Outdoor Ed is also a Stage 1 subject. As we mentioned earlier, Term 2 in Week 2, the students will go to Adelaide to participate in the Careers Camp, and there's lots of different activities that students will be able to choose. So they can go to unis, TAFE, different workplaces, and they'll do some fun things as well as attend the Careers Expo that's at Wayville Showgrounds. If you've got any questions or concerns, Nora Grover, who is the Director of Year 10 to 12, is the person to speak to. But students will receive more information about that as the term progresses. With relation to artificial intelligence in schools, the ChatGPT has been used as a research tool, but to be successful, students need to apply their learning in a way that demonstrates their own understanding. So students will regularly check in with teachers with drafts and things like that, and teachers can then gauge their understanding and application. So now more than ever, handing in drafts is really vital so students can polish their work and teachers can keep in touch with their progress. Thanks for listening to this PowerPoint presentation. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call us or email us at the school, and we hope you and your child have a lovely year. Bye.